In Vietnam, a ray of hope for some of the country's abandoned children. An Irish woman is being hailed as the new Mother Theresa for her work in caring for them. Lee Hatcher went to Ho Chi Minh City for this report.
As a child, Christina Noble was used and abused on the streets of Dublin.
I understand what it is to suffer, to have nothing, to have nobody. I understand what it is to be small. That's love, you see? Love. So that's, the baby will thrive on love.
Over the last 4 years, Christina's used up her life savings setting up this orphanage in Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, for the little children no one wants. The diseased, the deformed, the dying.
He's got no name. We don't know who he is. So we're just going to give him the best care we can now. Maybe just tender, loving care is all we can do for him. I've never had anything hepatitis. I hold them, I love them. Fleas, scabies, malaria, hepatitis, you name it. I hold them, I love them, I kiss them. I get so close to them. And I would die for them, but I've never, ever had anything. You understand what that means? Yeah. I'm meant to be here.
Christina Noble often gives these little ones life itself and hope for the future.
Oh, that's fantastic. Superb.
Christina's favourite, the one she wants to adopt herself, is Lap. It's Vietnamese for I love you. Lap's life is ebbing away because of a cancerous tumour he has on his spine.
He's just a lovely guy. I will never give up, and I will find a way for the kids if it kills me. And I really mean that, my heart and for my guts. Maybe it's a long shot, but somebody has to start, and I'm starting. And I'm nobody, I'm just a simple woman. Just simple, you know? So simple you can't imagine. That's all I am. But maybe that's what they need to hear. I love them, you know.
Lee Hatcher, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, 7 Nightly News.
As a child, Christina Noble didn't get much love. Hugs and comfort were in short supply too. And while she was unwanted, this remarkable Irish woman is making sure that doesn't happen to some of Vietnam's abandoned youngsters. She's ensuring they get love and hope.
There is only one person best equipped to tell Christina Noble's story.
I lived on the streets in Dublin. I was orphaned at 10 and took care of my brothers and sisters. I was mum when I was 10 years old. My father was an alcoholic and totally abandoned us. And so I lived on the streets. I learned how to survive, and it was very difficult. I experienced all the kind of deprivation, maternal deprivation of mind and body, and abused, and all the way street kids are abused, physically, sexually. I was raped. My childhood and my early teenage life maybe in a way was laid out for me to give me the experience and the strength I needed to do this.
Over the last 4 years, Christina's used up her life savings setting up this orphanage in Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, for the little children no one wants, the diseased, the dying, the deformed.
As you can see, the hands, you see, there's a lot of fingers missing. And this is cleft palate, and this is a pretty severe one, this is. And in Vietnam, you know, when dioxin and that stuff was dropped. That's love, you see? Love. So that's, the baby will thrive on love. I walked in here one Christmas Day I walked in. I can't explain why I was even in the area, why I walked in. Just something took me in. I saw some kids crying over there, and they had no equipment, and it was dark and cold. I mean, grey feeling. I just saw a rat running through the building, and I kind of jumped up. And I said to myself, oh, Jesus, what am I going to do?
What she did and continues to do is to bring new hope, often life itself, to these abandoned children and to give them a chance in a desperately poor country where there are few chances as it is.
So you can do very, very heavy sums. This is a little one. Oh, that's fantastic. Bravo. Oh, superb. Isn't she wonderful? I've never had anything hepatitis. I hold them, I love them. Fleas, scabies, malaria, hepatitis, you name it. I hold them, I love them, I kiss them. I get so close to them. And I would die for them, but I've never, ever had anything. You understand what that means? I'm meant to be here.
She also takes in the street kids, children who've often been hired out by their parents to beg in the streets, like 17-year-old Locke. Up until a year ago, he'd never been to school. He shows such promise, Christina is scraping up money so he can continue his studies.
You can help him to have for the future.
And without school, what would he do?
His future will be gloomy, dark.
Sometimes when there's nothing else, there's God. And I'm not a religious freak. You mustn't misunderstand that. I'm not into all of that. I simply believe in a force that's greater than I am. I'm just the kind of tool for that force, that's all. They believe in angels.
Christina gets by singing in a nightclub.
Good in everyone they see. Every child has the same human rights, the same birthright. The fact that a child is born, it should have love, education, healthcare, food for the mind and the body. That is their right.
Why do you feel as strongly as you do? Why is it always so intense with them?
What makes me so intense about the whole thing is I understand what it is to suffer, to have nothing, to have nobody. I understand what it is to be small. I understand what it is to sleep in the park, to sleep in the toilets. I understand what it is to be sick and nobody to say, it's okay. It's okay, I'm gonna take care of you. There was nobody there. It was only me. Last year we lost three. Three died. Most of them under 1.5 kilos. This little fella here is typical now of an abandoned baby. And he's got jaundice and all sorts of problems. We don't know, you see, he's got no name. We don't know who he is. And, you know, we're trying to find out. That can take a long time and a lot of money. So we're just going to give him the best care we can now. Maybe just tender loving care is all we can do for him. A street child is called Budai, for instance, in Vietnam. And it's not only in Vietnam, it's all over the world, the Western societies. And it means dirt beyond dirt, filth beyond filth. And that's what you are, because that's how you live, and that's how you're treated. They don't see you as a human being anymore, and you've got to fight back.
Christina's favourite, the one she wants to adopt herself, is Lap. It's Vietnamese for I love you. Lap's life is ebbing away because of a cancerous tumour he has on his spine.
Lap is so full of spirit, tremendous spirit, highly intelligent. He's just a lovely guy.
How long will you go on for?
I will never give up, and I will find a way for the kids if it kills me. And I really mean that, for my heart and for my guts. Maybe it's a long shot, but somebody has to start. And I'm starting. And I'm nobody, I'm just a simple woman. Just simple, you know? So simple you can't imagine. That's all I am. But maybe that's what they need to hear.
Lee Hatcher, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, for 11 AM.